Alright, yo dog, this is a tech demo to kind of show you what you're getting into by watching the series, and to show you about the technical side of things so that I don't have to explain that in an actual video, which is why this is labeled EO4, and it is not in the playlist. So, let's take a quick look here. So far everything's fine. Now, for the microphone on the camera, it's going to record breathing, and that is really hard to get around and practice for. So that's just one thing I'm gonna have to deal with. You're gonna more easily hear breathing, heavy sighs, stuff like that, and I have to maintain a constant distance, or at least only alter my distance little bits at a time. Otherwise you get things like this, where my proximity to the microphone causes it to pick up more easily on my voice, and thus makes it sound different, and makes my inflection sound different, and that means you can tell when I'm moving around, and I don't really want to move around that often, so that's one thing. So I shouldn't have to explain this part though. So what you're seeing on your screen is top screen, bottom screen. Here's the buttons, here's the circle pad, there's the stuff, there's home row down there, and this area is the mat. What I'm going to try to avoid doing is this, because this is just the position of the DS, and it's rather obnoxious. It's something I couldn't tell until I put it into an editing system. As I said, this is going to be a very, very tech stuff. So just then you probably heard me adjusting around. One advantage of having it in a position like this is I can pretty much move around and do whatever I want freely. I'm not obligated to sitting in just this one position. I can move around, and I can get as comfortable as I want. I don't have to lurch over the camera to see the DS. I, in fact, get the perfect view of the DS. So, in actual honesty, there are four places that I want to make sure are as perfect as possible, and that's menus, the town, which is basically a bunch of menus, the labyrinth, the skyship, and the fights in the labyrinth or skyship. So, this is menu stuff. Taking a quick look for scan lines, I'm not seeing them. You might see a few, like if I zoom in here, you're probably not going to see anything, so let's quickly make our way over to the city gates. You're probably going to be able to read all of this. The only thing you're not going to be able to read very easily when you're watching the video, as what I found, the only thing you're not going to be able to see extremely easily is the text for the characters in the... Get out of the way, guy. So, yeah, there was actually. So, the only thing you're not going to be able to read easily are the 5 characters here. Their names are going to be rather hard to read, because the text is small and they're on a transparent background. They're just going to be hard to read, period. That's pretty much the only thing I think you can't possibly read. Everything else should be readable. Like, you should be able to see launch your skyship, you should be able to read windy plains, maze list, cave list, etc. Just doing a quick check for scan lines. You probably heard that breath. And once again, it's just something I'm going to have to practice around. The second thing I need to make sure you guys can see easily is the skyship. Now, instantly, you are probably going to see scan lines. Let me check. See if after it settles down and gives me the tutorial. Alright, you're probably going to see lines. You're probably going to see rainbow lines, and I call them scan lines. They're not technically scan lines, but I call them scan lines. No. Okay, sorry about that. It doesn't seem like you have scan lines. Let me do one more check. I'm not seeing scanline, guys. I see a single scan line up here on the top. But that one isn't such a big deal, is it? Honestly, I was expecting quite a lot worse from scan lines in that instance. So what I might have to do, I might have to just check it. So, apparently I've averted the sky... apparently I've averted the scanline crisis of the ship, even though in a previous recording I didn't, so I guess I'm just going to have to check on a recording-by-recording basis whether scanlines exist or not in the sky areas. Let's take a quick look into the labyrinth. The third place I need to make sure looks good is the labyrinth itself. Looks pretty good from a technical standpoint. The thing worth noting is that no matter where I am, you're going to have a slightly darker tinge of color than what you actually see in when you play the game in real life. Technically, these are more vibrant and, well, these are just more vibrant colors. But what you're going to see through the recording is maybe not as vibrant, so... yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a darker tinge. If you play the game in real life, you're going to easily tell the difference between this recording and a real life playing. You can get the demo for this game for free, too, so it's, like, super easy to tell. This is the first area of the game, so... it looks alright, I'm going to say. It looks alright. Things are going to be fine. Now, one advantage of doing this in real life is mapping is a whole lot easier when you use a stylus, as opposed to the mouse. So, example, bam. You didn't have to hear any clicks or anything like that. It's just me dragging the stylus around off the screen. It's extremely easy. Like, and all the actions are fairly easy and don't really move the DS around that much. And I think that's, well, yeah, the battle. Alright, so, the last thing we're going to want to do is get acquainted with is the battle. I'm just going to run into an FOE. I can't beat the FOE, trust me. But, may as well show you what a battle looks like. So, there's no way I can win this fight. I am certain of it. If I somehow beat this fight, somebody call the cops. But it should be fluid enough. We'll see. So, you should be able to see attack animations and all that stuff just fine. Right now, it's not on a very fast setting, so I'd have to hold the A to make the fight go by faster. Of course, I'll adjust the settings in real time if we actually ever do this series. So obviously I didn't stand a chance against the baboon. I would have to armbound it or something in order to even have a chance to remotely beat him. Oh, we got him blinded. Why didn't that happen during the first encounter? You should be able to read and comprehend all of what I just did. The final test is if the game over screen works. Newsflash, it doesn't. There's scan lines all over the place. They're not technically scan lines, I just call them that. So that is essentially the tech demo for the game. It's just a quick 10-minute video showing off what the camera is capable of, how I've positioned the systems in a way such that to eliminate scan lines best I can. There are a few technical advantages and disadvantages to doing it this way. It's still the best as a capture card, but I am pretty sure this is as second best as you can get. I've been fiddling with this thing for so long, it's kind of set up for so long, it's just, I'd be a fool to do it any other way at this point. Unless I get a capture card, then I better do it that way. But basically, this is the best as I can get it, so that's all there is to it, guys. So that's that in a nutshell. I do look forward to you. I do look forward to you watching the series. Freshman Odyssey 4. I know this might not be your cup of tea, and after a while you might not like it, but hey, I think it's worth a shot, and if things get too bad, then things just go bad. That's all I have to say at this point, so I'm just gonna see you guys later.